This is a smaller, tight-knit group of individuals that really represent the country.
It doesn't matter what age you are, if you're willing to win, you're willing to put your best effort.
It's not how hard you get hit.
I ended up fracturing my thumb.
They suspected that he had Crohn's.
It's how hard you get hit and get knocked down and get up again. We don't take days off.
That's right, strength, no weakness.
Sky's kind of the limit.
Get ready, because today we're taking a look at some of our future prodigies and pros. From insane speed to incredible form, gear up, because this is no days off.
My ultimate goal is to be at the Olympics.
That young swimmer leading the pack, his name is Clark Kent.
His name is Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
His name is Clark Kent. They call him Superman.
Clark Kent Apawada is just 10, taking first place in the 100-meter butterfly with a time of 1 minute 9 seconds, breaking the record by just more than a second, a record set 23 years ago by Michael Phelps.
A second in the sport of swimming is smashing a record, and that's exactly what he did.
Monterey County officially declared September 18th as Superman Clark Kent Apuda Day.
I'm Clark Kent, I'm 11, and I'm a swimmer. It's February, it's winter, and it's kind of chilly outside, even though it's in California. Right now we're at swim practice at the Carmel Valley pool. Practice usually like 4 to 5 days a week. Yeah, those practices, we usually do butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle, and all-in-one practice.
This weekend is the 100 IM, so let's make sure we have really fast transitions. My name's Dia Rianta. I'm the CEO of Monterey County Aquatic Team. I met Clark when he first started doing swim lessons. He was very unafraid of the water and very ready to learn.
We started him when he was 6 months old. We really just want him to be safe and enjoy the water.
Your head is in line with your spine and you're looking at that blue line.
Coach Dia, she really wants her swimmers to get better technique.
When you come off the wall, you're doing 4 to 6 dolphin kicks, just like you would in a race. Swimming is hard. A lot of people think it looks easy, but it's very hard and it's very technical. It's pretty amazing as far as work ethic goes. He puts his all into practice. Try to speed up for all your turns. He's faster than most high school kids. There's not a ton to fix. He's at the top of that age group, but you know, to be number one, we're going to have to amp up the yardage and put a little more endurance behind him so that he can be competitive against those 12-year-olds that he's competing against.
If I have fun at like practices and swim meets, I can go on to my ultimate goal, which is to be at the Olympics.
We saw how Clark Kent's training is living by the name of Superman. After the break, let's see how he spends his time out of the pool. How does this Olympic hopeful stay grounded while living in the pool? Let's see what Clark does outside of the water.
This is the one where I beat Michael Phelps's record. I swam the 100-meter butterfly in a time of 1:09:38, but Michael Phelps's time was 1:10:48 at that same meet. I beat it by more than a second, which is a lot in swimming. Most of the time is like comes down to 1/100th of a second, so 1 second is a lot in swimming. The first time I saw that record was when I was 7. I was just barely starting competitive swimming. I told myself that I really want to beat that record, so I need to work hard just to get to it. These plaques right here, they're from long course Junior Olympics last year and short course Far Westerns, and I won high point for both of them. It's really humbling for me to know that I have a lot of these medals because I know I've worked really hard for them. After I beat Michael Phelps's record, they were calling me Superman because they realized my name was Clark Kent.
We know that his name is Clark Kent, so it's very obvious that people will call him Superman. More than the name, Clark is able to, right now, inspire young and old alike that if you have a goal in your life and you want to achieve it, it's always possible.
Also, I was here in the Swimming World magazine. Monterey County Board of Supervisors declared the September 18th as Clark Kent Junko Apawada Day. Only 2 other people have gotten their own days in Monterey County, so it's a really big deal. These are the records that I have and that I held when I was 8 years old. The record that was really important to me was this one because I set it during Junior Olympics, and that time when I swam that race, it was actually a swim off to see who would get into the championship finals and the B final. And I won that one, so I was able to get into the championship finals for that event.
Okay, 5 laps each way, go. Name's Kirk Knappenberger. I'm the head Tang Soo Do instructor at Kutar Martial Arts. Stretch kick all the way down, all the way back, go! We're teaching them discipline. It teaches them skills, fighting skills. It takes a lot of endurance to sit up there and spar. Eventually, they start building up the endurance through all the kicks and exercises that we do. And that's going to translate over into his swimming.
Karate relates to swimming endurance-wise because in swimming, you're trying to focus on endurance. Doing stuff like that, you'll be able to mix those two together.
I think his karate has done a lot for his swimming. I just want him to have fun, so he stays in this for the long term.
He wants to continuously improve. He wants to be the best that he can be.
He's a strong student. He's really disciplined in what he does.
The only thing to do is just keep persevering and keep striving harder.
After the break, we leave the laps to Clark and head to the top of the diving board with Denny Gulia-Janowski. National champion at 14. Let's see how Denny is jumping into competitive diving.
Every time you're up on that board, every time they announce the dive you're supposed to do, between now and when that happens, I want you to be on that diving board and try to do the best one you've ever done.
Denny Gulia-Janowski.
Typical day, I probably wake up at 6:30, get ready for school. About from 3:30 to 6:37-ish, I practice diving. I just forget about me being tired. I just do what I have to and try to do the best that I can. For me, academics is number one, so school is always first, and then diving. So sometimes I have to stay up pretty late to finish that essay, that homework, and it's tough, but it's possible. So I speak English because I was born here. Both my parents are Russian, so I can speak Russian, and I take Chinese at school for 3 years. And right now, the Chinese are dominating in the business world, so I think that Chinese is very important, and that's why I chose Chinese. My name's Denny, and I like to dive. Меня зовут Даня, я люблю прыгать в воду. 我叫 Denny, 我喜欢跳水.
This is pretty much of a sport of self-motivators. I try to tell the kids that you don't have to be great every day, you just have to get better.
My parents have given me a lot of confidence over the years. Even if I don't have a good competition, they'll always support me, say, we know you can do it, just try to focus more, work harder.
He started his career like a gymnast, and at age 7 we tried also diving.
At first, it wasn't really a choice. It was more like, you have to do diving. It was more convenient because it was at school, so my parents could pick both me and my sister up at the same time, so they didn't have to drive like an hour. Over the times, I just kind of liked the sport more.
Denny, it's good, but it's close to great. Just a little duck on the lineup, washed a little bit and caught a little water because of that.
He's a really good coach. Helps motivate and support everyone. He thinks more of the team, how the team will do, and instead of thinking about tomorrow, he thinks of the long-term goal. During the summer, we train about 5 to 6 hours a day, and there's a lot of conditioning outside of diving that I do, like pull-ups, push-ups, crunches.
I'm concerned more about consistency and fixing some of the small stuff that makes a big difference in the scores. If you think about it, especially 10 meter, you're going off a third-story building, trying to spin around 3.5 times or more, and trying to go straight in without a splash. That's pretty hard.
I was at a regular YMCA, and I was learning how to swim. And the worst memory I've had was standing on that 1 meter springboard and jumping off into the lifeguard. I was so terrified. I'm pretty good at platform, which is 10 meters, because you don't need a lot of weight to push the springboard down. Once you hit the bottom, the water doesn't really feel like water. It's more of a really rough surface because you're jumping from so high.
If you don't know what you're doing, you can, hit the water wrong. For those of you that haven't experienced smacking or belly flopping, it's like hitting your hand or the concrete. It doesn't give much.
Probably the worst smack injury I've ever had was doing a gainer 2.5 off 10 meter, and I kicked a little too late. I kicked straight up and I was at 3 meter. It hurt a lot. I couldn't really breathe. Hurt to walk for 10 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know how many of you still remember Greg Louganis, but one of our best divers ever in the history of U.S. diving, maybe the world, but hit his head one time on a dive on 10 meter, passed out as he fell to the water, landed flat on his back, and the impact of the water split his skin open. So it can hurt.
The thing that drives me to do this every day is just the thought of being successful in life and, having a good job. I don't really think about the Olympics. I think college is #1 right now. It would be cool if I go, but it's not really on my mind right now.
If you take the last year, I would say right now he's probably in the top 5.
In diving, I have 2 national titles, both on platform. This one was my first national title in 2015. So because of this, later on I went to Cuba to represent the U.S. at the 2015 Junior Pan American Games. That was my first international competition there. This was 2016 Nationals. I was at the bottom of my age group. I was 12 when most were 13. And I won by 0.1. So it's probably the best detail, the biggest medal I have. So it's pretty nice. It's a good memory.
I'm so happy that we can give our children this opportunity to study a lot and of course to practice a lot and travel a lot, because I didn't have this.
It's pretty much the best part of my day. Get away from school, just dive, have fun.
It's not how hard you get hit. It's how hard you get hit and get knocked down and get up again. That's what matters. Keep going after it.
After a fantastic day with Denny, we leave the pool to see how 87-year-old sister Madonna Booter has achieved her dream of completing the Ironman triathlon. 87-year-old nun, Sister Madonna, doesn't let her age get in the way of all she's accomplished.
I tend to get a little aggressive. And when people are all over the sidewalk, especially on the Centennial Trail, not giving space to anybody else but their little gang, I feel if I'm on my bike like I'd love to ram them. I really do. And then I have to apologize for my feeling. But I don't know. There is something in all of us that gets stirred up.
Best known as the Iron Nun.
Iron Nun.
They call her the Iron Nun.
The Iron Nun.
Sister Booter is the oldest person ever to finish an Ironman triathlon, swimming 2.4 miles, biking 112 miles, and running a marathon.
My mother, she'd hold me in her lap, and all of a sudden I was squirming around, wanting to get on the floor and do my own thing. I guess I just always wanted to be on the move. It just came naturally. I can remember my mother occasionally used to say, "Darling, why don't you act your age?" And right now I'm thankful that I never have. I'm not going to name them, I have no idea. These are the Ironman ones, and I've given over 60 trophies and medals away. The ones that are really hidden are the Hawaiian Ironman. These were Senior Olympics. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's too much to keep track of. I wanted to do a marathon to get in to do the Boston Marathon, but to qualify in those days was very stringent. Any woman 40 and over had to qualify by doing a 3-hour, 30-minute marathon. I was 12 years older than 40. I thought, uh-oh, what are the sisters going to say? They wouldn't have let me in the first place. I knew that.
Is that something that is sort of frowned upon?
Well, nobody ever did it. As a nun, you know, and at that age, two things were wrong with it. Being a nun, that isn't, you're usually on your knees, not out there running on the streets. And then 50? No, that's time to retire or do something different. Well, I was doing something different, all right.
That's like the motto of a rebel.
Maybe I'm a rebel?
You're a rebel.
Okay.
You're a little bit of a rebel.
I'll accept that.
Oh! That's it. Good job.
When I was still in grammar school, maybe around 9 years old, my grandmother, a very insightful woman, opened the door and said, "Darling, what's the matter?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to figure out what I should do when I grow up." She said, "Darling, let's look at it this way. The past is dead and gone. The future is not the future until it gets here, and then it's the present moment. That is the only thing that you are responsible for." That made so much sense to me. It just took all the burden off my back. I have to remind myself that any kind of anxiety is developed by worrying about the future, of which none of us really have control over. So that brings me back to living in the present. I'll make the most of the here and now, right now. This is the county jail, Spokane County Jail, where I come, and anybody that wants to pray or talk, I'm available to them. I just am always grateful that I'm on the other side. I don't think I'd make it. It's not that I don't belong there occasionally, but there's such a thing as a comfort zone in being confined. First of all, you're confined in a family that you know and have everything done for you. People in jail have the same thing. Their needs are met. They don't have to worry what they're going to do the next day. Confinement can be an addiction in itself, wanting to live within your comfort zone. So when I started running for the marathon part, I would be out there in nature, and all of a sudden, that was my world, not this little cloistered group of sisters. It just expanded me in so that my little problems seemed so minimal by comparison that I was able to take it. I realized that I've lost my bounce that you need when you run. Swimming has gotten a little dicey because of my tendency to get hypothermic, waiting for a crash because I'm shivering so much. No, that doesn't work. I don't know if it is the result of being compromised by all these accidents I've acquired, or whether it's age, and you know what? I'm never going to find out. When you're ready to quit, that takes your will.
How do you find that will in those moments?
By calling on it. This is where the element of hope comes in. Hope is endurance, it's faith, a never giving up attitude. If we ever, as human beings, lose hope, we are lost.
to inspiring barrier breaking. We saw 3 incredible athletes today. This was just one day in the book for these legends. They'll be back at it tomorrow, because when you want to be the best, there are no days off.